Okay, Coach, on a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room, and we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Atlanta Falcons. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
We play to win. Let's go.
Ready, blue 80, white 25.
We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go. Begin.
Now the third leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Well, they had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Check.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Buying time to his left. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. A toss play to Chubb. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside, they can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. From the gun, here's Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Nick Chubb, 79 yards. And the Falcons have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 76 yards. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. They run again on first down, Chubb. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A throw on the quick slant going to be complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
On 3rd and 1, Ryan. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Here's Jones. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give them 14 on that one and a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
11 more on that one and another first down. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Back to throw, Watson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hopkins. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Watson looks to throw again. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Texans have broken the tie. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead is now 21-14. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. A reminder about Sunday Night Football later tonight. It's a rematch from the divisional round last year. Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Then tomorrow on Monday night, the Browns and 49ers from Levi's Stadium, where the Browns already playing their 3rd primetime game in the season's first 5 weeks. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Ryan. And this one's incomplete. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Watson. And this one grabbed by Darren Fells. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Derek Rivers in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That second down play nets a -4.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
At the 17-yard line.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Let's go. Let's go.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hey, Charlie.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Come get some. 21.
Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Ryan. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Jones. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's fourth down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes. Back-to-back, what a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
Alert!
Watson on first down. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
59, Mike, 59.
Throwing again is Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. DeAndre Hopkins once again the intended target, and it's third down.
That's right, baby. They don't want it. Mike, check.
To the air yet again, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10.
2 points down, he's coming.
Again, it's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And he's in. It's a Houston Texans touchdown.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. Spins by. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out first and 10. Final play of the half. It's Ryan. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 39. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here first and 10 at their 25-yard line. Caught left side, Hopkins. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? A shotgun snap for Watson. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. Watson with a give to Miller. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Undercrunch, undercrunch, undercrunch. Mike.
Again, it's Miller. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now it's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. He's going to air it out for, and got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. They go play action with Ryan. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Ryan. Over the middle. That's caught by Ridley. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons get a bit closer. Well, you know, you can't get all the points back at once, but baby steps a good start.
A start that was sorely needed because this team looked like they might be out of this one, but getting a touchdown, getting back into it, gives them hope as they move forward.
And he'll get in, and they're going to draw themselves 2 points closer. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. And sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Good job by this defense. They're now playing what they call complementary football. Offense scores a touchdown for them, so they come right out, force what should be a 3 and out, and keep the momentum squarely on their side.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away.
At their own 14-yard line.
Ready, blue 80. Blue 80.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game. So
a big seam, and he might go all the way. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Bo Scarborough, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons cut into that lead. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
Here we go.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They begin with a run by Miller. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Ready. 25.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Check. Ready, go.
They'll start things on 1st down with Bo Scarborough. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. 3rd and long. It's Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DJ Reader in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. The Falcons will go for it. It's Ryan. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. On 1st down, Watson. Throw left side, complete to QT. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Tack McKinley in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. To throw is Ryan. Caught on the right side by Jones. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Ryan now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. To throw on 2nd and 10. Ryan. This will be caught inside the 10. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, Chum. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd.
And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Falcons get a bit closer. So he's in for his 3rd score of the game, and defense probably saying, man, we don't want to see this guy for a long time.
It's bad enough when anyone scores a touchdown against you, but for one person to get 3, it almost sets him apart from the rest of the game, and no one likes to see any of those players on a pedestal, not from the defensive point of view.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now it's Miller running right. The ball comes out, and the Falcons grab it. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards, 1st down, Atlanta.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Ryan now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Now they'll run it with Scarborough. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. He'll look to throw. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
What's that? 19.
Tight ends on the loosey. Tight ends on the loosey. Tight ends on the loosey. Hey. We got three. We got three. Three down. 24.
Watson. Over the middle, it's Fells. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now the Texans will use one of their two remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Watson now to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Tighten up.
Hey, take this.
They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock.
Ready, 280. Check.
Ryan to throw. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. 20. And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They've just likely won this thing in regulation. You and I have seen a lot of special comebacks. This one pretty much unbelievable. Roaring all the way back from that huge deficit, now in the driver's seat.
Take the numbers out of it. It seemed insurmountable. It seemed monumental, like no chance you could get that done, but they did. Let's go back to the 92 NFL season, 93 playoffs. Houston, Buffalo, in Buffalo. Houston with the monster lead, and here come the Bills all the way back to win it.
Led by Frank Reich, correct?
Yes, Frank Reich was the quarterback. He had done it in college a few times. He did it in the pros with the Bills. How old were you then?
I was 10.
That hurt.
But I remember it.
All set. 19. 26.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's got him in. Complete. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And his ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
And partner, you know I'm a big advocate of taking tape measures and just throw them away. I want to know if a guy can flat out play. Well, DeAndre Hopkins is about 6'1", and we're used to the guys who go up and take it one-handed like we just saw there. 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" guys. In this case, he plays way taller than what he's listed, doesn't he?
He does indeed, and that was spectacular.
And we've got to watch him work his routine. We saw it during practice during the week. We saw it in pregame. He works hard at these one-handed catches. He's not just showing off.
A very important extra point there, up and good, and we may very well be headed to overtime. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This is taken at the 3. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
A fourth quarter score now from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. And the Ravens have added to their lead. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. This is fielded at the goal line. Oh, he shifts past him. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They'll toss it to Miller. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Banjo.
Hey, 59!
Mike, check.
Line up.
From the gun, here's Watson. Wide open receiver, complete. 18 yards to pick up there. And now he's closing in on 450 yards passing.
That's an incredible number. I mean, you're talking about the best defenders in the world that you're trying to throw the ball against, and you're creating that type of a number. Fantastic job, fantastic performance. And he's going to have to ice up his arm afterwards, too.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Open to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. Now Watson. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. His first catch, and it's a big one in overtime. It's a 1st down. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's a give to Miller. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Combo. Exit. 0-0, Mike free.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
Operating from the gun, Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
The Texans on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Here's Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. And an alley to run. Overtime with less than 2 minutes to play, and we are still all time. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try the right side here with Miller. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, it's Miller. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. So a big play in this opening drive of overtime. Now looking at a 3rd and 3. Watson now operating from the gun. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Carter. His first catch, and it's a big one in overtime. It's a 1st down. Shaping up to be a very efficient opening drive here in overtime.
And can you feel the tension building? Because I'm feeling it. All right, I've got the sweaty palms here with each play because of the enormity of what's going on.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Vic Beasley able to record his 5th sack of the season. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
On 2nd down now, it's Miller, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Probably thinking they got to be careful not to force anything here in overtime. This is 3rd and a mile right now. From the gun, Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So a big one coming here for Kaimi Fairbairn. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they have regained the lead. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First throw in overtime now for Ryan. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
It's a gain of 17 yards. 1st down, Falcons.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Ryan to throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
He's checking.
Play action. It's Ryan. Looking deep for Julio. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Try to disrupt Julio Jones there, the intended target. A little too close, got the flag thrown.
I'm not sure anyone can cover Julio Jones one-on-one for very long without getting their share of pass interference calls. His size, his speed, his physicality makes it almost impossible to do.
shot here in overtime to try to tie things up, but he misses it, and as a result, this one's over. This was an excellent affair to witness, Charles, but there's always that part of you in the pit of the stomach when some guy has to be sort of the scapegoat, as they were here on the missed field goal. You just hate that, don't you?
A little bit of empathy there, right? That means that we still kind of have that. I know that the team that won, they don't have a lot of it. They were hoping he would miss it, of course, and he did. But I'm with you. You're watching him, and his shoulders just slumped, and feels like he let his whole team down, especially those guys who had to battle throughout the game.
Yeah, all the way into overtime, but the missed field goal seals their fate. So for the Texans, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1, and they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss, and they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals.